Good morning, my name is Craig Cameron. I'm a consultant for Trevisto Plant Solutions. I'm a qualified drone pilot and I'm a qualified greenkeeper with 18 years of experience both in greenkeeping and in golf course management as a course manager and superintendent. I'm here today to talk about drones. Most people are quite technophobic about them, think they're really complicated. They're not really. The first thing to say is they can't fly. Without a battery, I know that doesn't make sense, without a battery they won't do what conventional aircraft do, which is float to the ground gently. They'll fall out of the sky like a brick. So for safety reasons you can't fly in the rain and you can't fly in heavy mist, because if you get a short circuit in the battery it drops out of the sky. The way a drone operates is relatively simple. It has 4 rotors in this one. That's the minimum requirement. You can have more. Basically 4 rotors, opposite corners go this direction, opposite corners go the opposite direction. That means the centrifugal force keeps it, as long as the power is the same to all the rotors, in one position. If it needs to rotate, it makes more power across the corners and it will rotate this direction. Similarly, more power here, it will go the opposite direction. If it needs to go forwards, more power at the back, goes forwards. More power at the front, goes backwards. Similarly, left and right, which makes them extremely manoeuvrable. Unlike other aircraft which have to fly and then go in a big arc and come back the way, costing time, our drone can basically fly this way, this way, this way, and save time. It basically means we can cover more greens quickly and efficiently for the greenkeeper. This one here has a 4K camera on the front. It has sensors all round. It's a Mavic Pro. So basically it won't run into anything, it won't hit anything, it won't crash into trees and stuff. So the 4K camera on here, I'm going to switch this on now. To power it up, the drone will go through a self-test. Because it's from DJI, it won't fly where it's not supposed to. You can't take off to an airport. In stadiums you have to unlock it, especially because there are normally no-fly zones, you can't fly over buildings, etc. It knows where it is in the world, which makes it extremely safe to use. On top here, piggybacked on top, is an external camera. This is from Centera. This is an NDVI camera. That means Normalized Difference Vegetation Index. Basically what this camera sees is light wavelengths that we can't. So in this case it's infrared, near infrared. The reason that's important for greenkeeping is the plant itself has chlorophyll in it and it absorbs light to make energy. It absorbs all light, including invisible light. As the plant becomes stressed, it starts to lose chlorophyll, the green part of the plant, and we eventually will see yellow, brown, dead grass. This camera will see when it starts to lose chlorophyll in the near infrared light spectrum. So it will see stress before the grass changes colours, which gives a heads up to the greenkeeper to take action before there's a problem. What makes the camera special, if I turn this one round, and it's pointing straight at me, so here we go. That's me in the picture, I hope you can see it. If I turn the knob on the top of the controller, the camera will point completely down the way. Now how's that important for a greenkeeper? Well, if you start looking at things from top down, you will see issues long before they're visible to you on the ground. So if there's an irrigation problem, if there's wet area, dry area, again, you'll see that with the camera, and it makes it a really useful, important piece of equipment for a greenkeeper, and I've been using them now for 5 years using normal conventional cameras, and the NDVI makes a big difference because I can see plant health. Now, you're all thinking, oh my goodness, I have to fly a drone. Our program basically uses automated flying. So basically we have another program, it's a video program we've actually used, where we can actually plan missions. So if you were a greenkeeper and you're using our equipment, you simply come to your account, open up your flight missions. So in this case, this golf club that's got 4 missions. You open up your mission, you load the mission, and then it appears here. Basically, if I click go on here and the drone's all powered up and I'm on the golf course, the drone takes off, flies the mission, comes back and lands. All I need to do is be there in case there's an emergency. If I have to stop the mission, land the aircraft. So that's the only reason we're there. And we train the greenkeepers how to fly the drone anyway. We don't just let you loose with it. The map itself, I can zoom in and out, so I can see where everything is on the golf course. There's also a little pictorial of the drone where it's actually in the space, so we can see that as well. And this particular flight mission has 15 greens in 17 minutes. So you can't even drive around 15 greens in 17 minutes. So basically I can cover those 15 greens in 17 minutes. If I want to load up a different mission, it's somewhere else over here. The reason there's more missions is you have to have visual line of sight of the drone. So the missions have to be small enough that we can always see the drone in the air. and in this case for all 4 of these missions we can. So here again, another flight plan. You can't mess them up, you can't move them around because they're locked. I basically program all the missions so the drone won't fly through a tree. I have done missions before where I've planned it and it has got a waypoint that goes towards a tree, and because of the sensors on the drone, it literally stops and goes backwards and forwards and waits for me to stop the mission and then change the plan. So it's very safe. I hope you've enjoyed our little video this morning, and thank you very much for watching.